I applied to be an RA because I feel like everything that I am and the place that I am right now is all based on the help that I received when I was younger. And I know the specific times in my life that were the hardest were the times where I didn't have somebody to look up to or a mentor to help me, specifically my freshman year in college and my old school back in Texas. So I wanted to be that person for a freshman so they don't have to go through the things that I went through just from a lack of knowledge. And I wanted to be the type of person who helps you understand life and just gives you a bit of an easier time so that you can be as successful as possible and not fall through pitfalls that everybody falls through.
Because I did have an RA that encouraged us to get to know each other and get involved. And I'm very grateful for that experience, and it was something that I felt really compelled to get involved in and give back to the freshman community.
The most rewarding part of this job is definitely seeing your resident growth throughout the year. One of the most rewarding experience that I have is definitely going through hard times with your resident, and they come and tell you that thank you for supporting me along the way, and then letting me know that there's someone there for me no matter what.
So far it's been awesome. It's definitely been like my most rewarding experience at USC, just because it's challenging in a lot of different ways, and a lot of different ways that you might not expect, but it's just rewarding beyond measure. It's something where you feel like you're actually making a difference, kind of making an impact, and it's something where you can really see the results of your hard work just firsthand.
A lot of it's just a lot of fun times together. So I mean, you spend a good 2 weeks of before classes start in training, just getting to know one another and learning what it takes to become an RA.
And what training did is pushed us through every possible scenario so that every time that we do face things now, we've seen it before and we're versed in it and we know the guidelines, we know how we're supposed to handle things, and even for the more unfamiliar situations, we have some sort of a baseline.
I was presented with what I felt like an enormous amount of resources for any situation I could possibly handle. And I never felt during training like, oh my gosh, they're forgetting to tell me something, or what if this happens? Because I always felt like if I wasn't given the information explicitly, like maybe my staff team, maybe my supervisors knew how to help.
Sometimes you have a lot of tasks you need to do, like bulletin boards, weekly report, one-on-one with a resident, but it's always knowing that you have a support system from your staff team, from your supervisor, or even from resident department.
For me, it's been really nice. Every week we have our one-on-ones with our supervisors, and it's just a really great time to check in. And if I have questions about certain policy aspects or just general ways to kind of help me figure out how I'm going to plan my programs, a supervisor is a really, really, really great resource.
Every higher level staff member in the residential education program is more than willing to help you and understands that you're a student as well, and understands that you may not know all the answers and they may not know all the answers, but everybody's really, really willing to make sure that the residents have the maximum safety and best experience at USC that they could have. So we're committed to being there for each other, which I appreciate.
I think that the most rewarding part for being an RA has been the amazing relationships that I have built, not only with my residents, but with my staff members. I think that it's such a unique position because not only do you get close to the people that you're working with on the professional side, but you also get close to the people that you're helping.
The 10 or so of you in the staff really encompasses any strength or discrepancy that can be covered up, and y'all do amazing work together. So for myself, I love planning events and like bringing people together within the community, going off campus. Other folks like to really just be really good peer mentors and good counselors. Others are really good at managing conflicts, and when you need help, it will be provided to you. The residential community, the res ed community is a family, and I really felt that in my 2 years here.
A lot of people just think of an RA being an undergrad student. When I tell people that I'm a graduate student RA, they think, oh, so you work in the dorms and you kind of deal with freshmen. That's not true. I'm actually in graduate housing and one of the apartment suites, so it's kind of cool that I'm there and I really get to see a whole different diverse amount of students and work with population that's specific.
I think one misconception about RAs is that there's a cookie cutter, or this ideal that like you have to be a certain personality type or have certain strengths, but I think everyone has something unique to bring to the table, and that what makes their relationship with the residents really special.
all people come from different walks, all people come from different cultures, have seen different things, and for that reason it's important to have RAs that are as diverse as we have them. So a message or influence that you may get from me will be completely different than the message or influence that you may get from my co. And I think that's what's beautiful about the residential education system as a whole, is that it encompasses an inclusive environment for all types of individuals.
I think that being an RA is just an unparalleled experience. I think that I have learned so many skills about who I am as a person and how I interact with individuals that has made me really excited about my future ahead of me. I think that I have learned so many skills about how to work with people, and it's been an amazing team building experience.
So these are definitely skills in the future, in the long run. An employer will notice and they'll say, hey, this person not only went to USC, a really great institution, but was a leader in his own community, was a leader on campus, was a leader, with the graduate students, was a leader in so many different areas. And so I think this will look great.
But really, the main part about being an RA and the most rewarding part is just hanging out with the residents. And to me, to get to be able to live with some of the coolest people I've met and have them be my residents has been an amazing experience and something that I could barely even consider work. So I would say definitely apply to be an RA, because it really will change your experience at USC, and it will define, I think, how you look back at your time here.
You should apply to be an RA, because there is no greater feeling than understanding that you made an impact in someone's life and they were able to get through a barrier, get through a struggle, or rise to some sort of next level because you helped them. And no matter where you are today, you had help. We may do a lot of things on our own, but there are people who cared about us and pushed us along when life got tough. And there's no greater feeling than giving back and being that person for somebody else. And that's exactly what you do when you're an RA.
You should become an RA because it will make your USC experience what you want it to be. It'll be the best thing that you will do in college.